All right, now let's head on to the crypto market. Now let's take a look at some headlines. You see, Kathy Wood's ARK Invest has extended sell pressure there. They're selling Coinbase, Robinhood shares at this point. Wonder why they're floating. Is it because they spot Bitcoin ETF? But you know, she's a big proponent of Bitcoin. She has a lot of Bitcoin. That's talking about the ARK Invest management there. They have a lot of Bitcoin. We see Radiant Capital has suspended operations on Arbitrum following a $4.5 million exploit. We know the crypto market a lot of these projects get hacked most of the time. Sometimes they're able to get some of these funds back, but sometimes some of those funds are lost forever. Definitely more conversations about ensuring, most of the funds in the crypto market coming up more because of that. And we see Data Mall chains ERC 7585 proposal has been approved, and that's supposed to help Ethereum actually scale better. Then right here in Nigeria, we see the CBN has released some guidelines for banks on how they operate cryptocurrency, opening accounts for cryptocurrency businesses, digital asset businesses. So at this point, the banks themselves are not allowed to hold cryptocurrency or trade cryptocurrency. Let's bring in Olumide Adesina, our financial market analyst. Olumide, great to have you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you, Ladi.
Yeah, so I guess now, when banks are not allowed to carry out crypto transactions, some accounts were flagged. Take, for instance, you put in the narration there when you're transferring money, maybe you write Bitcoin or Ethereum there, your account would be flagged and closed before the CBN released this new circular now. So I guess it's safe to say individuals can now trade cryptocurrency and send monies, for cryptocurrency and still right there if it's Bitcoin or whatever. But the banks are not allowed to trade. So some people might be confused here. Can you break it down more for us?
Yeah, so I think what the CBN is trying to do in deep respect is opening the financial system to digital securities. If you look at the memo sent to Nigerian banks, the guideline explicitly explained the objective, and that was primarily to allow digital securities interact with the financial ecosystem. So virtual asset service providers definitely need SEC regulatory license, and just like you retreated, the banks are not allowed to involve directly with digital currencies. So while you could say yes, some positivity, I think it's still very restrictive, because if you look at the conditions for banks opening crypto accounts for virtual assets service provider, it has to come from the management, from the top. And also, cash withdrawals, like I said, is not allowed. But I think what they are really looking at is how to make our financial system more competitive with digital securities, like I mentioned, stablecoin most especially. And there are rumors that fintech companies and banks are working around stablecoin, just like what we see in JP Morgan Chase and some few private banks around the world. But looking at markets this afternoon, it seems the market is deep right now. Bitcoin lost about 8% as we speak. At some point, it was down by more than $5,000. Just looking at the price pattern before moving, supporting above $42,000. And that's pretty much on news that a Bitcoin spot ETF is unlikely. So while you could say Archivest is re-strategizing, looking at a Bitcoin spot ETF in the market, it seems that the market is looking at an unlikely instance that we might not see a spot ETF approval. Ethereum is down by 10%. Solana has lost a fifth of its value. So the volatility in this market are one of the reasons why the CBN is still very conservative, Ladi.
Yeah, definitely. The CBN cannot be trading in this market. But looking at this circular now, do you think now the peer-to-peer market will be impacted now that I guess crypto businesses can now open accounts at this point? They won't need to go peer-to-peer.
I think it's still very tricky, because you need to look at the compliance metrics for you to get a Nigerian bank account as a virtual asset service provider. Like I said, A lot of people have ignored that Security Exchange Commission is the big elephant in the room. You definitely need some form of approval. And if you look at the guidelines being laid out, it shows that some proponent is not just available for everyone. But having said that, I think the market is quiet on the P2P market. If you look at the the NGN against the USDT, the most traded stablecoin Nigeria market, it has not been able to break to the low we saw in November. So I think there's this ranging consolidation waiting for what the situation in the FX market. But I'm positive that the stablecoin proximity by Nigerian banks and fintech companies will definitely give the NGN USDT a run for its money, and liquidity, a fight for liquidity. But let's see how that plays out, lad. It's still too early to call.
Yeah, looking out for that stable Naira at some point. Thank you so much, Olumide Adesina, financial market analyst.
Thank you for having me.